Hey guys, I get asked this question all the time. What would I have done differently if I was starting out right now? And this is a super, super easy answer. I know it right now. I've known it for a long time, and that is go bigger, faster. What does that mean? That means that I would have started at multi-million dollar homes right out the gate. That's how you get rich very fast. You got to think, you learn the ropes, you bust your head, you start with $300,000 home, $400,000 home, affordable home, right? Well, those profits are only $30,000, $80,000. This is a pretty popular debate going on right now that should you start building multi-million dollar homes like myself, or should you start building affordable homes, $300,000, $400,000 homes? Well, I'm here to make a YouTube about the pros and cons of each right now. Listen up. So first, we're going to talk about what it takes to build an affordable house, a home that's around $300,000 to $500,000. Your margins are going to be really, really small. You might squeak out $50,000 to $80,000 per deal. That's if everything goes correctly, and there's a lot of issues that could not go correctly. You got to negotiate with the contractors way more because your budget's so small. We're trying to build these homes at like $100 a square foot, and that takes negotiations with every single trade, from lumber, the flooring, the tile guy. Tile guy might send you a bid at $12,000, and your budget's only gonna have $6,500. You have to negotiate. You got to get many bids and negotiate them down on every penny, because you can't go over budget because you don't have enough profit to absorb it, right? Lumber packages. That's going to be one of your biggest expense in building homes. Lumber and windows. You need to shop that lumber package out to many suppliers because it's your biggest expense, right? And it could be $30,000, but you shop it to another, lumber company, get them to competing against each other. You might save $5,000. That $5,000, you're going to need that $5,000. You can't afford to pay overprice on anything. So you have to do this on every single aspect of building this home. It might get redundant, but that's the process of building an affordable home. You're trying to build it for $100 a square foot. Plus your budgets are small. The bank's only going to give you so much money. They're going to run their comps. They're going to be conservative. So you only have so much money to build this house. Also, another key factor to remember when building these affordable homes, they're usually in poor areas with higher crime. So you got to watch out for theft of condensers, theft of lumber, breaking of windows, and stealing copper from the electrical wires. It's very common in these poor neighborhoods. So that's something to watch out for. You might want to put a security expense in there for a security fence or even a camera. And the margins are tighter. So if you did get a theft or something and you had an unexpected cost, that's going to eat into your profit. So you got to be super aware of what's going on with your project, where you're building at. Make sure it's secure, because you can't afford any unexpected costs in that price point in order to make it worthwhile and get you a return on investment that's worth it and worth your time of building a home over the next 6 to 9 months, because that takes some time. So the good thing about building these affordable homes is you can get into them with a very low down payment, maybe $20,000 to $50,000. So the capital at risk is a lot lower than when building these multi-million dollar homes. Also, you can get in, you can learn on your own dime before you start taking on investor money and partnering with people. That way you know the processes, know the system. So that's a very big pro when it comes to building these affordable homes. So if you're getting in to learn and not so much to profit and get rich, I think that's the correct path. That's how I teach my students. Get in, let's learn the systems, let's learn the processes. You don't have very much money to start anyway, so let's get in and learn, and then we will scale up and partner with people with money and get going from there. Because there's something to say about having a finished product, having a portfolio of homes that you build, right? So once you do finish, once completion, you sell it, you made some small profit, but you've made profit. Now you learn the processes, and then we can scale up from there. This is exactly what I teach my students. Get in, learn the processes, learn the systems, build up a little contractor base, but do not stay in this price range. You get in to learn in this price range only, and then you scale up to do bigger ones. Some people want to stay down, build affordable homes, $300,000 homes. They're like, let's do 10 of them. No, you don't want to do 10 of them. That's a higher risk than just building one $3 million home. It's a lot less to manage. You're making way more money building one. You only have one project to drive to, check on it. This other one, you have 10 different properties, 10 different property taxes, the complexity is crazy. You got 10 insurances, 10x everything, right? You got to design the home 10 times. Then you got to negotiate with 100 contractors 1,000 times. it's just a pain in the butt. So I always teach my students, get into the affordable housings, build one or two of them, get them completed and profited. Then you can use that experience to scale up to get into the bigger deals. You don't want to stay down there. You're not going to get rich building 20 of these, 10 of these, you know, you're going to get rich building 10 multi-million-dollar homes. That's going to be life-changing money. That's how you build generational wealth. Once you get those big profits, then do whatever you want to do with it. So remember, get into the affordable homes just to learn the processes and get out of it and scale up as fast as you can. I did a really good job at this, and that's how I was able to get to where I am in such a short amount of time. I could have gone a lot faster if I did have a mentor or a coach helping me along the way, but I didn't. I did it kind of on my own, and a friend was kind of consulting with me a little bit, but I wish I would have gone $3 million houses right after I started building those $450,000 townhomes, because if I would have done that my second year, then I'd probably be building $20 million homes right now, but I'm building $8 million homes right now. So still pretty good. The process of building an $8 million home and a $300,000 home is the exact same. You still have to pass all the city codes. Same codes apply. Very, very similar. Still got to get all the inspections by the city inspectors. You still got to get land, still got to get permits, still got to negotiate with contractors. The main difference is the budgets are a lot bigger and the profits can absorb any little issues. If there's a leak or if there's theft or whatever it is, it's not that big a deal on these bigger homes, right? That's why I try to preach to you guys, learn, scale, get rich. If you do start with affordable homes, remember it's all about growth. You want to grow, you want to get a couple deals under your belt in the small affordable homes and use that to get into the bigger deals. Remember, small risk, small reward, bigger risk into the bigger homes, huge reward. You're going to make a lot more money doing the bigger home. The whole goal is to build big homes to get big money, right? I wouldn't have a Richard Mille on my wrist, big ass chains around my neck if I did not scale so fast. If I was still building affordable homes, I wouldn't have this stuff because I have to get into the big risk, big reward to get the big chunks of money in order to buy more land and keep the pipeline full and also buy the cool shit that I like for my lifestyle. So that's the only reason you do it with affordable homes. You start with that, build a track record, then you leverage that track record with lenders, you leverage it with partners, you leverage it with investors, and that's how you grow and get to the bigger deals. That's when you're going to start making more and more money. Remember, guys, it's the same processes for the big deals and the small deal. Contractors, permitting, inspections, everything is the exact same. The finishes might be a little bit different, you know, as the levels get higher and higher. Obviously, you're not going to use Home Depot builder grade materials, Lowe's builder grade materials. You're not going to order stuff off Amazon. It's going to be a lot more selective the higher you get, more unique and a lot more expensive. So you're not going to find that stuff at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Amazon. But you're also going to sell it for millions of dollars and profit 7 figures per deal. And that's the name of the game. Also, one thing to keep in mind when you're building these big multi-million-dollar homes, you have a lot bigger budgets. All it is another zero on the end, but that will afford you to build a lot more cool shit. You know, when you're building the affordable homes, you have to stick so tight to your budget and it's so generic and standard that you don't really have time to put cool stuff in there that you enjoy. When you're building the bigger homes, you actually can put koi ponds and fish tanks and accent walls and drop down ceilings and all kinds of different things, pools and full landscapings and 4-car garages with glass where you can see into your car. Now this is cool stuff, you know, and so it's just a lot more sexy. It's a lot funner to build because you have a big ass budget and you can drop the money to spend on those extra luxurious things. So that's why I'm such a advocate to build bigger homes. Plus, not to mention the profits are so much bigger. Like I'm saying, it will absorb that extra cost that it takes to make this home unique and cool and stand out from your competitors. Because remember, a lot of these builders are older, been building for years and years, and they're not really up to trends. They're stuck in their ways. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So build the affordable home, scale up as fast as you can. That's how I did it. Also, a lot of people say, oh my God, it's so risky to build these multi-million-dollar homes because they're going to sit on the market longer and the buyer pool is so small. But what you guys don't understand is yes, the buyer pool is so small compared to the affordable home, but the rich get richer. They have money. They have assets that continue to make them money and money. I've sold a lot of multi-million-dollar homes as soon as I drop them. I pre-sell them. I mean, I've sold them within 2 weeks. Some sit on the market for 60 days. It's the same thing in the affordable homes. I've had all different kinds of sales, pre-sales right when I drop them on the market, and some sit on there 60 days. I mean, it's the same thing. So I've seen it with my own experience, my own eyes. There's no difference. So a lot of people are just scared to take that first leap. But one thing you do got to consider is you're going to have those banknotes when you're building this big home. So you're building a $4 million house, you borrowed 2 points. So one thing you do have to consider is since you are building this big $4 or $5 million home, you're borrowing $2.5, $3 million from the bank. When you borrow that much money from the bank, the mortgage payments are bigger and bigger and bigger monthly. So that sneaks up on a lot of people. It's called carry costs. So please make sure that you either partner with somebody or you have in your savings enough to afford those monthly payments, because if the home does sit on the market, 30, 60, 90 days and it's fully drawn from the bank, you constructed it, sitting there on the market, those mortgage payments are still coming. And those might be $25,000, $30,000 mortgage payments, depending on how much you borrowed from the bank, right? So that's one thing to consider. And that's why it is harder to make that leap into multi-million-dollar homes from the affordable homes, because a lot of people can afford the affordable homes when they're building them, but not many people can afford the $25,000 a month mortgage to build, the $4 or $5 million home. So remember that, because that sneaks up on a lot of people.